All right, so today's headline, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, going to be a good one. How to make a fortune with AI in your business. That is our money topic. We're going to jump right into it. How to make a fortune with AI. And when you think about AI, I mean, obviously you've got ChatGPT version 3.5 and now 4. If you're paying, I think it's like $20 a month, you get version 4. And then Google has Bard. And so you've got all this AI. You know, when you think about AI, and there's kind of two different camps out there, right, Ty? There's the camp that's, and I even hear this from, you know, some of the folks I follow online. Andy Frisella, 75 Hard Guy, owner of First Form, and he's like, AI is the worst thing ever. It's going to kill us all. It's going to take everybody's jobs. And so he is 100% against it. And then on the other hand, a guy who he's even had on his show, Alex Hormozi, is like, no, AI is actually, you know, something you need to utilize in your business. And if you utilize it, it's going to make you more productive, more successful. And so you have these two different camps with this, with AI. Where do you sit with this, Ty?
I think it's incredible. I'm with Alex. I think it's something that you need to learn to utilize and adapt and be open-minded. You see this generation after generation or decade after decade, right? It's people that, I don't think I want to keep my books on a software called QuickBooks. That's a little sketchy. I'm going to use a paper and a general ledger and this and that versus, you know, utilizing the software and understanding, look, the government's going to see my numbers anyway. What's the point? I may as well utilize a software that's going to make my life so much easier and eliminate all sorts of mistakes that could be made. You heard the same thing when the internet was starting to blow up. People were so skeptical of, oh, don't jump on the internet. It's going to ruin the world, blah, blah, blah. And now it's something that we use every single day, and it's made everyone's lives significantly easier. I think same thing with AI. It's here whether you like it or not. It would be very, very ignorant to sit back and just fear it. You got to learn how to utilize it and adapt.
I think that's a great point that you're making. Like there's two ways that you tackle technology. Either you're afraid of it and you don't utilize it and you get left behind 100%, or you jump all into it. And so I remember I started my first business realistically where I was in charge of everything. Started that in 2005, so that was like 18 years ago. And with that business, we were one of the first to actually have a website, and so we had a great-looking website. And then I remember we were generating like leads, and this was back in the mortgage days of 2005 and 6, 7, before the recession of 08, 09. But there were a lot of companies that weren't online. They didn't have a website, and we were generating really cheap, like $15 mortgage leads. I think mortgage leads now cost like, $100 or more per lead just for contact information. They might be selling that to multiple companies, and we were generating super cheap leads, and it was profitable, and that was before most people were doing it. And then on the other, side of the issue of technology, as social media came out and Facebook and some of these other social media platforms, I was actually hesitant and didn't jump on that. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. And then, I think maybe in 2015, 16, I started to really jump into social media. And obviously, it's been really key to our business in generating, leads and partners and credibility and content. And if you're not creating content, it's really difficult to set yourself apart from the competition in today's world. And so the first thing we're going to talk about when it comes to making a fortune with AI in your business is how you can use it with content creation. And so interestingly enough, like the last 4 or 5 content videos that I've done, I literally would get the topic, and instead of me having to go through and research all these different websites and figure out what's the truth, where is something interesting, I could literally go to ChatGPT and say, hey, tell me all about the biggest banks in the U.S., or tell me about Visa or MasterCard, or tell me about the credit bureaus. What's up with these credit bureaus? And I could literally type that out and in seconds have a well-organized piece of content that I could present and do it in my own way and do it non-robotic, but utilize the facts and the different pieces of content that ChatGPT would put down for me. And it's cut down on my time that I need to create content significantly. And we're getting as many views as we always get, maybe even more with some of these video topics. And ChatGPT and AI is helping to create that content. So that's super important. Now, I know you were utilizing it even yesterday, and you've utilized it in our sales process. What are you seeing as AI being powerful and helping us or helping someone build their business?
Yeah, interestingly enough, it was just about a week ago. I've used ChatGPT to generate posts on Facebook, like what's a good, strong post to encourage someone to apply for funding, or what's a good, strong post to encourage someone to start managing their finances. And then I realized, you know what? We always follow this Dream 100, and we've got all these awesome referral partners that are always coming to us saying, Ty, how can I get more leads? Or Leo, what are some strategies you use? And so I said, you know what? Why am I just posting this on our Facebook? Let's create an awesome email with 3 really, really good posts to generate leads, and let's send that to all of our partners and say, hey, here's some different posts that have been proven to work for us. We strongly advise you copy and paste and put it on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and all of your platforms. And if you have more question or want to learn more about this process, click here to schedule a call. Well, all of a sudden we see a bump in leads, and we see a boost in scheduled calls to help people upgrade and build a deeper partnership with us. So that's one way that I've recently used AI, is not just for us in our specific business, but to help our partners grow and scale their businesses.
So it's powerful with content marketing. It's awesome with affiliate marketing. And then, we talk about our fintech app, myfigures.com, that we're building out. We got the next iteration, and we've already got hundreds of users that have really enjoyed, managing all their finances in one place. And so what's interesting, if you're a coder, and actually I think you're more knowledgeable about coding than I am, but more knowledgeable than both of us, is our CTO, Brock. And Brock was talking about how he was able to grab code that could have taken him hours to build out and just ask ChatGPT to prepare the code that he needs for the next segment, whether it's our partner portal for 7 Figures or the MyFigures FinTech app development. What have you heard from him on this?
So we were working on a project together yesterday, and this literally just happened because our CRM developer, he can write in a language called Deluge, or essentially he understands what's called Deluge. It's unique just to Zoho. So he created this big, long function that essentially runs our internal automated underwriter. Yeah. The only problem is Zoho kind of handcuffs us to where it's going to take 5 to 6 minutes to process. So Brock and I were thinking, well, what if we could take the same function and plug it into a different thing called Make, and let Make run this function and plug it in real time? Well, we didn't want to recreate hundreds of lines of code that Kevin spent the last few months creating. So we said, you know what? Let's plug it into GPT-4, ask it to spit it back out in a different format and break it down for us. And we try it, and we kind of got it, but it was really off. It was like, this is kind of helpful. It might save us a few hours, but not a ton. So I said, you know what, Brock, ask the question this way, tweak it a little bit, ask it to get a little bit more specific and break down the specific rules into sections based on final underwriting decisions. So we got a little bit more detailed with the question. And then we even had to follow up with keep going, like provide more of a response. And it got to the point where we literally were able to take what took Kevin months of creating this function, and because of GPT 4.0, ultimately within about an hour have that converted. And now instead of 5 to 6 minutes for an underwriting decision, we'll get it in about 10 seconds.
Absolutely. And so the takeaway from there, the value bomb for you guys, is you have to learn to ask the right question, right? You may have asked it to do something in one way and it didn't quite work. And so you have to keep on rephrasing and re-articulating that question. If you do it the right way, then a ChatGPT or a Google Bard or an AI system can actually produce the result that you need. And so don't give up just because it's hard or you didn't get it the first time. And that's where this expertise comes in to play. And so for all the other business owners that, they tried it once, the entrepreneur tried it once, and it didn't work, or the coder tried it once, this is bull crap, AI doesn't work. Wrong. It does. You just have to learn to ask it in a different way to get the result, to get the answer that you need. And it reminds me a lot of that. And I've shared this story before, but it's that movie where the African-American ladies are these genius mathematicians helping to get the first man on the moon in 1969. And it had Taraji P. Henson and Kevin Costner. What's that movie called? Hidden Voices or something like that? Or
I don't know.
Whatever that movie was. But basically, they were dealing with some discrimination and whatnot. But basically, one of the ladies, I think it was Viola Davis, maybe, or it was one of them, and she basically went through this class to learn how to use this IBM computer. And because she could do it, she got promoted and she got this job where other people didn't because they didn't adapt. And so I always tell my kids this, guys, it's not the strongest, it's not the smartest who will win necessarily, but he or she who adapts the quickest to a changing environment. That's the person that's going to win. And that's what it takes to succeed in business. And so if you don't make that adaptation, you're going to be left behind while the other business owners jump on AI and they're killing it.
Yeah, it's and like we were just saying, sometimes it's really weird, Leo, but sometimes when I'm communicating with ChatGPT, I feel like I'm being annoying. Like, I feel like I'm annoying this person, but you got to keep in mind, like, yeah, it's AI, but it's not a person. They don't care. They're not going to get annoyed. That doesn't exist. Be that annoying little kid that keeps saying, well, why? Well, why? Well, why? Continue asking why. Continue to ask for more until you get your answer, because it exists. You're just not asking the question the right way.
Exactly. And so then you can start utilizing machine learning and all this AI and these tools. And there are tools even to create digital like logos and images. And soon there will be video, there will be voice. And frankly, you know, in the future, you're going to see customer service. Customer service is going to be taken over by AI, and you're going to be on the phone with customer service and you'll be like, wait, am I talking with AI or am I talking with a person? And if it responds AI, you're probably going to have a sigh of relief because the AI knows everything and has this incredible database to tap into and to get you the answer and a solution quicker and more effectively, maybe than the human counterpart. And so this is what always happens. People get afraid of technology and they have this worst case scenario. And so far, from those who are most knowledgeable and expert about AI, the idea of Skynet and Terminator happening and taking over, it's not really quite there yet. These are still learning language codes is what they are. And so they aren't quite a singularity yet. Could they become that? Absolutely. Do you and I have the ability and the notoriety and the power to really determine what's going to happen with that? Probably not. But so at the very least, we have to utilize it and we have to adapt with technology. And those that do are going to win, and those who can utilize AI will be seen as valuable, and those that don't will be left behind.